Well, hello, young and the restless daily recap fans. First and foremost, 1,000 subscribers hit. Oh my goodness. I'm going to probably do something, where maybe change up my color just for Monday's recaps that I do because that's special. But I kind of wanted to let it really settle in because, sometimes people subscribe, then they unsubscribe, and that will affect, whether it's a solid 1,000 subscribers. But thank you so much, Daily Recap fans, for sharing, for commenting, for just being here. We're going to do something special. I'm going to be reaching out to some of you via probably your handles through private messaging on YouTube about the Zoom. So you'll hear more on that. All right, this episode, my goodness gracious, was a nothing filler episode. I completely fast forwarded every bit of Jack and Diane. It's just, you can tell they're building them up so fast, hot and heavy, that they're getting ready to have some kind of huge crash, as they should, right? At the end of the episode, Jack asked Diane to marry him. Huh? Okay, Jack, you dive in to the deep end without your life jacket because you know you can't swim. Lord have mercy. So anyway, that was okay, Jack, you do you. Then we have Mariah talking to Sharon. They have the baby. So I guess everything went through. Mariah came back, I think, to do some business or something. And Tessa's still there in Seattle with the baby. Mariah's going to go back. And she was showing pictures. And Adam was there. The first time they've had real interactions between Adam and Sharon in a long time, right? And so he told her Sally was pregnant. And he's like, you don't act like you're surprised. And she goes, no, she told me. And he goes, oh, but you didn't tell me. She goes, it wasn't my story to tell, So she's like, no, don't even get me with that, right? So we have Sally, who, my goodness, I've got a headache. My goodness, headache. Let me call Nick. Can you come over? And he's like, well, I'm actually finishing up a report for work. I'll be done. Let me call you back in just a few. I'll be done. No, I think something might be wrong with the baby. He goes, I'm on my way. Gets there and the chick says, I have a headache. Had she told him that on the phone, he would have said, okay, you call your doctor, but it's not going to be critical, right? Not pains in my stomach, I headache. Is it your sinus? And guess what? She goes, I called my doctor. She said it could be sinuses. Hello, Sally. Come on now. It could be stress. Could be my high blood pressure because they're, I guess, still doing tests to figure out, they're going to put her on medications to bring her blood pressure down. Could be stress. Yeah, all of that. But you had to call Nick from work for that. Now that was ridiculous. And I'm here for you. No, it's woman up, Sally. Woman up. Your toe might start hurting tomorrow. And that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with your baby, Sally. So anyway, Adam shows up unannounced, as he always does. Always unannounced. And he goes, I was just checking in on you to make sure you're okay. And she goes, you do not have to check on me constantly. She goes, everything is fine now. And he goes, wait, now? Yeah, I had a headache earlier. But I called my doctor and, everything is okay. And he goes, oh, okay, because look, if anything is wrong, I want to know. And he goes, as a matter of fact, I would like to be able to attend some doctor's appointments and ultrasounds. And I thought, yes, Adam, you should make that request, as you should. You're the actual baby's father. Okay. And so Nick is standing behind Sally and he's kind of looking like, what? Like, why? And it's no why. That's the baby's daddy, Nick. See, you signed up for this. Nick. So Sally said, I'll think about it. And he goes, okay. And so pretty much he leaves and yada, yada. Right? So now the main part of the show, the entire rest of the episode was about Phyllis. Phyllis is in the lobby of the Grand Phoenix getting toe down drunk, right? On martinis. So she's drinking, she's picking up the phone, calling Summer. They got the phone, oh, just drunk and ranting on Summer's voicemail. She hangs up for Summer. She calls Daniel. I know you sent me straight to voicemail. It rang 1.5 times. And then you answer the phone. You and Summer. Oh, she's going on and on. And she's like, if you don't pick up the phone when I call, I'm gonna hunt you down. And I'm thinking, whoa, that would really make me not pick up the phone, Phyllis, mama. No, right? And Lauren and Michael walked in and they're like, wait, huh? Because they can hear this. And so Michael was kind of like, let's go. And Lauren is like, no, we're going to go check on her because she doesn't look good. So Michael's like, oh, God. It's like going into the lion's den, right? So they go around the couch and say, Phyllis. And she's drunk and she leans back. You know, you mean finally somebody that doesn't avoid me? And Michael says, well, we thought about it. And Lauren kind of nudges him like, no, 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 right? No, no, Michael, don't do that, right? So they sit down and they're talking to her and she's just, of course, everybody's against her. Nothing is her fault. Her kids are blaming everything on her when it's not her fault, you know, and they don't see what's really happening. And Diane, everything is Diane's fault. And then she looks at Michael and now she turns her drunken rage onto Michael. And it's all your fault. You allowed this virus, this pariah, to come into town, and she latched onto my daughter like a parasite. And she says, and it's all your fault. You know, she's just going on and on. So finally, Michael snaps at her, and Michael yells at her and said, Diane is not the root of your problems. You brought this all on yourself. Oh, Michael was Michael. And I thought, good, Michael. See, tough love her because she's just going crazy, sprawling drunk, right? And she looked at him because she was, how could you do this to me? And he's like, oh my goodness, he had enough of that. And so finally, Phyllis starts, after he really snapped at her, she started winding down a bit after she finished her little tirade because she's like, I want Diane dead. I want her dead. You can't die twice. So what would be wrong with it? And and Michael's like, Phyllis, you are in the lobby of a hotel. And she goes, so what? I don't own it. This is telling you she's so unhinged, she's not thinking. You're yelling in a lobby that you want someone dead. And I mean, you did everything but said, I want her DEAD. I mean, she did everything but spell it, right? Now, Diane does turn up dead. Who could be blamed? Phyllis. She's the one doing the best threats and just, oh, wow. Her intentions want her dead. So Michael told her, you know, stop it. And so she's like, I'm done with this tough love. I'm done. And she gets up with this, you know, you too. I'm done with you. Well, she's done with him. So she stumbles up and she grabs her purse and she's stumbling, hair all over the place, right? And Lauren is like, Phyllis. And so she stumbles out the front door. And Lauren looks at Michael and she goes, no, go after her. And so she kind of pushes Michael in Phyllis's direction. So Michael's going, Phyllis, he's going after Phyllis. Now, I don't know if Michael found her or I don't know who found Phyllis. you know. But Jeremy Stark ended up um in Phyllis's, I don't know if it's his room, everybody, or I don't know if it's Phyllis's room that Jeremy Stark was in, but Phyllis is laying on the couch with a blanket over her. So that kind of makes me believe, did Michael find her and did Michael put her in the room, right? Um, but I honestly don't know. So she opens, you hear a male's voice, and I had a picture of it, but I forgot to upload that picture. She's just laying on the couch and her eyes open because she hears somebody talking to her. And he goes, "Ooh, goodness, you're in a bad way." Or he's like, "Ooh, wow, look at you. You could have been in trouble." Something he says to her, and her eyes kind of look, and she kind of doesn't move her head, but she moves her eyes and looks at him, and he's just sitting in the chair looking at her laying on that couch. And she's thinking, what happened? How did I get here? What's going on? Right? But that's what happens when you're raving drunk. At least we know she didn't kill Diane, because Diane and Jack are out of town and Diane's busy proposing to her. So we know Phyllis didn't do something stupid like that, which is good. But, then in the scenes, they showed scenes from next week. Jeremy is propositioning her, and she says, "I can't do that or I'll lose everything." And he looked at her and he goes, "Well, it looks to me like you've already lost everything." Mm, okay. And then in the other scenes, we see Victoria talking to Devon in his house, trying to tell him why it would be unwise for him to buy McCall Unlimited. And Devon looked at her and said, "What's it to you?" I hope he gives her 100% what for behind that. The audacity of her. You tried to raid our company for one, and now you're going to come over here and try to give me business. Oh, for one, he shouldn't have let her in. For two, he needs to go right to his door, open it up, and say, "You know what? You're not welcome here. Get out, Victoria. Get out." That's what he needs to do. But that's next week, so I can't wait for that. So let's go to comment corner. We've got a few comments. We have Annette. Annette said, "Okay, right, Y and R, give Lily a life. If Sally can cry and complain all day, why can't Lily, whom we love, have happiness? 8 months of a merry-go-round hanging on Sally. I know, I can't. I just can't at all." Phyllis, "Pray no one kills Diane, because it won't be good for you." With all her threats she's going around making, nope, it won't be. But they almost are setting us up for, I hope they don't. See, I don't want them to do another Diane dead. Jeremy Stark needs to show his hands on what Diane has really done. He has not done that yet. We don't know. There's some reason she didn't want none of her stuff from LA. That whole story is not over, and it's almost like they don't know how to write it at all, period. But I think once the news or Jack and Diane come back married, that'll be when Stark says, "How can she marry you when she's already married to me?" Right? So then we have Libby. Libby says, "One more thought. Tucker has a plan to maybe up in Ashley's control over him. It involves telling Audra that he offered McCall to Devon. I think he's expecting the Newmans to throw a monkey wrench in the whole deal." There was a reason he told her, and I was wondering, why are you telling Audra that? But that's not going to up in the hook. Victoria and Lily, I think, are pretty much making Devon go say, "You know what, I'm going through with this deal." And then Libby says, "Squeak," yelling, she's squealing like me, 1,000 subscribers. Congratulations, Daily Recap Lady. Thank you, Libby. I'm so happy for you. Thanks for explaining further my question about Lily's offer to Devon. If Devon does take the offer and buy McCall, I can see Nate's idea about surprising people with music mashups as being what will present the company in a powerful light. Yeah, Nate had a good idea. Even if Nate does take the Hamilton, I'm sorry, Nate, even if Devon does take the Hamilton Winters name away, it is that is if Victoria doesn't reject his idea because he rejected her romantic overtures. I'm confused about the dynamics between Ashley and Tucker right now. Me too. She was mad at him when he took off, when she took off to Paris, lording it over him once she bought his debt, and now telling him what to do with his company, then expecting him to jump in the sack with her. It is all too odd. And then Libby says, Phyllis acting was superb. Her drunken scene was great. Yeah, she was sure convinced me she was drunk, right? Was superb. Let's see. Her drunken scene was great. It's hard to keep track of which day is which on the show because Amazon's Paramount finally included the missing March 1st. And I watched Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday all at once. Yeah. But all in all, February sweeps were a real snoozer loser. You are 100% right. They did horrible on February sweeps, and their ratings should be not good at all. Seriously. I think the only snoozer that did worse was Bold and Beautiful. You know, come on now. You can't get worse than the Bold and the Beautiful. Nita says the upcoming court battle will be very interesting and fun to watch between the lawyers, Devon, Jill, Lily. I find it hilarious that Victoria or Nate never lock the door. I know, huh? They seem to forget about Audra, the undercover spy, always lurking around. Victoria is treacherous. How long is Nate going to have his job at Newman Media if Nate does not obey Victoria? Oh, not long. Oh, not she'll make it so uncomfortable he'll leave. And then Libby says, good speculation, Anita. I think Devon is too self-centered about Lily's choice of Amanda. Amanda wrote the document and created the merger. She is the logical lawyer for Lily to hire, not to rattle Devon. That was a bonus added. That is true. You know, it's like I was saying that I 100% felt that Amanda was the one that Lily should have hired. So there we have it. And I know Amanda would like the money because, you know, look, she's had to start all over again, right? So this is going to give her a big payday and get to stick it to my cheater ex-boyfriend. I'd take that case, right? I'd take it. All right, everybody, I'll be back on Monday celebrating because, boy, if we can hang on to that 1,000 subscribers, you know, and let's get it to like 1,003, 1,005, then it's locked in. I will be so happy. But I will be back on Monday with another daily recap of The Young and the Restless.